Today's vlog is the final part of my trip to visit my friends Brett and Kira, who repaired my electric self-converted VW bus when it broke down on my cross-country trip almost 2 years ago. After getting it back on the road and increasing the range to over 160 miles on one charge, the final thing I've always dreamed of doing is rigging it up to charge from solar power. The ultimate freedom of free energy adventures. Stick around to see how many miles range we charge in a day and to see some of the crazy solar vehicles I got to drive. It is the final morning and Brett has kindly got up early to make the most of the sun today, and he's set up the final 3 panels. So we have 6 panels now. You can barely see the van, it's hiding behind here. Yes, bro.
Yeah, we're pulling about 1600 watts.
Wow.
We started about an hour ago. When we first started, we were at 163 volts, and we started with about 8 amps.
Amazing.
And now an hour later, we're at 163.9, and we're pulling about 9.5 amps.
Oh, incredible.
So we'll be able to get a rough estimate of watt hours that we're going to be able to put in today. Turn the vehicle kind of more sideways. Later on, we'll be able to track that sun most of the way down.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, so, I'm super curious how much we can charge it today.
Yeah, you know, it's not the greatest spot here in the driveway, but as far as the exposure goes, this was the best spot.
Yeah.
The van could be flat.
That looks so good.
Now the hard part, we got to sit around and watch it charge.
That's how many amps it's charging. 8 amps. If I'm just plugged into a 110 outlet, that's only 15 amps, right? Or is it less? Like if I was to use the slow charger.
Yeah, that's about what it is.
About 15 amps.
Yep.
Okay, that's pretty good. I feel like I timed it once and it took about 30 hours to charge on 110 from empty. Is that about right?
Yeah, about 50 kilowatt hours, yeah. Once you put that kind of time into charging your rig, you're not gonna go burn it up real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like if someone gives you $100, it's easy to spend it.
Yeah.
But if you have to dig a ditch to earn $100, you may be gonna think about how you're divvying that out. So when you get in behind the driver's seat and it took you days to get that charge, you might go 40, 50 and make it last as long as you can. You make your money last.
We were playing around yesterday with these kind of struts to just prop up and support the solar panels temporarily. Obviously, if we were doing this as a long-term permanent solar charging rig, we would have some kind of proper fold-out array. That made sense, but what's so cool about these 6 panels is these can just stack and go straight into the back of the van if need be. I think if I had been doing a solar trip, that's just what I would have done for now, rather than try and build some kind of permanent structure on the top. I think I would have just stacked them in the back. But yeah, I think if I had panels this size, and at the moment, if it would take about 4 days to fully charge. So I think if I had 24 panels like this, we could charge in a day. But that's a lot of panels. That's very expensive. Whilst we're waiting for the van to charge, which will be literally all day, I'm going to play around with some of the other homemade electric vehicles that Brett has. I'm going to hook up my Insta360 camera on the front. Solar Rover, baby. Let's cruise. Oh yeah, baby. It's nice standing up. It's good on working the quads a bit. Woo! I want to thank BetterHelp, who are a paid partner of this video, and I want to take a quick moment to talk about mental health. And even though I focus on positivity and living life to the fullest, I have had moments where things have felt overwhelming and stressful, and I've sometimes kept my struggles to myself, especially when I'm looked to as a support from those around me. And I'm someone who needs to verbalize to figure things out, and I've realized that talking to a professional can really help. So that's why I'm excited to partner with BetterHelp. It's an online therapy platform on a mission to make starting therapy easier and help you navigate life's challenges. It's simple, fill out a questionnaire and it will match you with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. So you can start getting the help you need fast. One of the best features of BetterHelp is that if the first therapist doesn't feel like the right fit, you can easily switch to another one until you find someone that you really connect with. So if you're feeling stressed, anxious, or just need someone to talk to, visit betterhelp.com/FunForLouis to get a special discount on your first month. Take care of yourselves, and remember, it's okay to ask for help. Right, let's get back to the video. Okay, taking a little break from tearing around on the solar rover and have a little look at their garden now.
We took out a lot of the basil. Kira makes really good, or not basil, kale. She makes really good kale.
Oh right, I love kale. Protecting the apples.
I usually just find the ones with holes in them. One apple?
Yeah. Cheers.
Like.
Oh, that's nice. Way better than store-bought apples. And all of the tomatoes in the kitchen, like in the big bowl, that's all from here. Yeah. Oh, I've been snacking on those.
Oh, there. Those are a little thick skin.
Let's give that a little go.
Yeah, the corn, last night, I guess.
Yeah. I wonder how much of this I could grow in Costa Rica.
Oh,
it's a completely different climate. I think I could I grow corn? It might be too humid and hot there, I don't know. We can definitely grow kale. I know they grow kale down in the main farm. It's quite good because there's a communal farm, which we get a basket of mixed stuff a week, but if we want to get more self-sufficient, I think we need to plant a bunch of stuff. But I think we could allocate a space this big on our lot. This isn't too big.
You got a lot? Like 1 lot?
1 acre.
Right. Oh, nice.
At the moment, we've just marked out an area for a house. Probably not even the same footprint as that. I haven't got a workshop right now, but I've got a shipping container, which I can put some tools in, and it's big enough for doing some stuff. Do you treat it with anything to stop the pests?
They were here first. So.
Yeah, true. I went to a organic coffee plantation, and they just spray cayenne pepper and maybe vinegar or something just to deter some of the pests. But it's obviously no chemicals or anything.
A little something.
And then this is your pond that you dug this out?
Dug it last year.
Oh wow, only a year ago.
Yeah, so it's still gotta grow up and grow in, but the ducks are happy.
I like you have a little boat on there. Are these all your ducks, or did some of them arrive?
No, they're all ours. I hatched them here.
Had some fun with the solar rover. Gonna try out the quad now. What do you call the quad?
Oh, just electro quad.
Electro quad, okay. It's all running off just huge chains underneath.
Yeah, it's all 4-wheel drive, just chain driven. Super simple. Yeah, baby. Whoa!
It's like a swamp, isn't it?
Yeah. A little bit.
Oh, When we bought our lot in Costa Rica, it's an acre, and I was like, well, an acre's loads of room. But that's because I grew up in a tiny terrace house in a suburban town, and then wherever we've stayed, whether it was living in Venice or Cape Town, it's been very built up areas where you don't really have any space. I've never spent time living out in a huge plot of land. I guess you're compromising on having civilization nearby and community, unless you share the land with friends and stuff, but yeah, I love it. Next up on the vehicle tryout today is the golf cart. Tell me about the golf cart. So this is your first solar project, right?
Our first solar-powered electric vehicle was indeed a golf cart, but it was like an old Harley Davidson 3-wheel golf cart. It was really cool, but it was 72 volts and, had, I think, 180 watts of solar on it, but that's what started it all for us. Now, back then, no one was doing solar-powered golf carts. Now everybody's doing a solar-powered golf cart, but no one I've seen is doing a solar-powered golf cart with a tracking array.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
There you go. So this, of course, gives me the ability to really get a lot more power out of it.
Oh, that's amazing.
And you get a little more attention if you drive around with it up.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take it for a little spin.
It's been an interesting week, just tinkering on things. I thought when I first arranged to come visit that there might be loads still to do on the van, and I might be sweating out, pulling all-nighters, trying to get things fixed up, but Brett and Kira have done such an amazing job on the van that it's pretty much ready to go. We need to figure a way to get a solar-powered golf cart down to Costa Rica as a way of driving around Alegria. I think I'm going to talk to Brett about that. Maybe I could build one. This trip has got my cogs turning, thinking about projects I could do, future things. It's very relaxed here in America. You could never just cruise a golf cart around on a public road in the UK. You need number plate, you need license. It's a lot more freedom, I think, here. Excuse me. Sorry to disturb. Oh, awfully sorry. So sorry. Take a little spin of the van. This is the next vehicle on the list of fun vehicles I'm going to get to ride.
We just put an inline shunt on these panels coming into this bus because the amperage is going over what my meter will handle. My meter handles about 10 amps before it blows its fuse. So we're at 10.3, so we're like, shoot, we got to do something different. So we put a little shunt in there. Now, theoretically, we should be using the shunt on the meter in front, but we're yet to figure that thing out. So we just put another shunt there, and it's telling us that we're getting about 12 amps going through it. So at 164.5, yeah, we're right on 2,000 watts coming in. So
wow.
And it should be coming up because we're a little bit low. The battery bank here is about 165 volts, and the maximum power point of these panels is theoretically about 196. So we're a little bit away from that, so we're not going to get the absolute maximum of the panels because we're going straight in. If we had an MPPT controller, fine, but we don't. So we're just going directly in, and we arranged them as close as we could to the battery pack voltage.
Yeah, baby. What's it like to drive?
It's kind of another thing that kind of forces you to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
You can't really push it. It wants to go kind of slow and do its own thing. But it brings you back in time a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Like old vehicles can do that.
New cars are great, they're safe, they're efficient, but
Fast and efficient.
there's not much character to them. That electric motor's crazy.
This was my dad's tractor, and you know the engine froze up on it, and
Was it just sitting around for years, just like?
yeah, it was sitting in the shed, and then the shed fell and kind of bent up the steering wheel right here and some stuff. But I couldn't just let it go, and it was like, wow, what a perfect donor for electric, you know.
I love it.
And we will put the solar panel on top, which will be the cherry on top of this cake.
Can I give it a little ride? Check this out. Electric frickin' tractor. Make sure I don't squash any chickens. Excuse me, chickens.
Hey! Oh, I love this. The funny thing is, this is the first time I've driven a tractor, let alone an electric tractor. Oh, this is so fun. Oh man, this makes me very happy. The fun of just being able to like build things like this. I feel like Brett's such an inventor.
So much fun. This is the solar powered lawnmower.
Yeah, so it sits out there in the lawn and stays full. It's kind of overkill actually with this panel for as much as I mow. And also same with the batteries, a little bit of overkill. I do need to enclose this. The goats are eating my wires.
Yeah, check this out.
Yeah, they like
chewing them
they
wires.
eat everything. Let's fire it up. Give it a go.
Yeah. Do you know what? I've never ridden a ride on mower. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's crazy to me that this just always stays charged, just sitting in the sun. I definitely think the Solar Rover is my favorite vehicle. Oh, maybe the tractor. The tractor's fun. I think the tractor comes second. The Solar Rover is definitely the most fun vehicle.
That's fun. So when Brett was fixing up the van, when I brought it here, when was this, like a couple months ago?
No, this was like just a few weeks ago. There's a weird thing with the throttle. Finally found some burnt wires on the top of the motor where it attaches to the transmission, the throttle wires. So they were kind of melted and they were giving a full throttle signal. So I just turned the vehicle on and woo!
Burnout. So the van just went careering into the...
Yeah, luckily there was nothing to, just missed that rock.
Oh, imagine if he hit into the pool. That would have been wild. It's midday. I think it's been going about 3 hours maybe a bit more. And we are making amazing progress. Obviously at the end of the day, I'll give you a full breakdown of how much sun power we put into this bad boy. But this gives me so much hope for future solar adventures. Because I also think we could fit more panels. These would all go flat and just slide in the back. Or like I said, if we had some kind of solar array like some of the other VW vans that Kira and Brett have built. I'm glad we actually got to do this. Almost 2:30 in the afternoon. The sun obviously is moving across the sky, so we are no longer at the optimal angle. So Brett's suggesting if we relocate a little bit, basically lift the panels, move the van to like that angle, and then we'll be collecting a bit more solar. I am very excited to see the end of the day, what we get to. repositioned the van, we're still pulling almost 2,000 watts off these panels. Unbelievable. And we're gonna sit here now, I guess till sunset, and then we can do a final calculation on how many miles we've charged. I've been getting on with some other work whilst I've been waiting for the van to charge up. Oh, such a nice day. I'm gonna miss this weather. I feel like after this, it's gonna be cold and wintry. This is like midsummer heat. So whilst I'm waiting around, I thought I'd clean up a little bit. I've got a wedding I'm going to tomorrow in New York, so I have a little shave. Here's a question. What do you prefer more, the electric snowmobile or the solar rover?
Oh, snowmobile.
Yeah, so that's your favorite.
I run it more, it's more of a utility because I get my maple sap with it.
Oh, nice.
And then we do our maple syrup with it.
Redfoo, who you're gonna meet in the next video, he, before he had the E-Star, had this Volkswagen van, similar year to mine probably, right?
Yeah, 71.
71, with this amazing slide out solar roof, which was salvaged. Oh yeah, and a tree fell on it. How long did he have it before the tree fell on it?
A year.
Thankfully it was insured, and Brett and Kira got the van back and have salvaged the roof. So what are you going to do with it?
This top was capable of pulling 100 miles of range a day on top of the VW bus. So it
Wow.
had 4 actuators which would raise it 40 inches.
And it had more solar than...
It had about 3,000 watts of solar.
Yeah.
But also, more importantly, almost the ability to fully tilt into the sun. So you
Wow.
could track your sun all day. So you're pulling, 2,500 watts for 12 hours. Do the math.
That's the dream. Yeah, we got 50 miles.
We pulled 50 miles of range today. So had we really gotten the exposure, if we'd have done what we did today, end of September in a, say, open field, we would have pulled 100 miles, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's a whole nother 8 hours, 4 hours on each end, pretty much.
Yeah, we've done it like end of June or July or something.
Right.
Yeah, that would be.
So we have the figures. Tony he took readings all day long and plotted us a curve to really show us a good bell of what happened with the power, coming up in the morning and dying at night. So it's all right there. It's really here.
I'm very sad that it's finally time to take this beautiful machine out for its last ride with me. What an era. Almost a decade with this. I think I got it in 2015, so it's been 9 years. It's time for a new chapter in the Volkswagen's life. Even getting this van was all a bit of an accident. I'd basically flown to Montana to work with the tourism board, and on the first day, I had like a Toyota, I don't even know what van I had, but I'd got somebody to drive it over from LA to Montana, and on that drive, for whatever reason, the engine fried. I think something to do with the oil or something. And that first day, we didn't have a mode of transport. So I was like, either we rent like a boring vehicle for the week or 10 days that we're there, or we buy a sick vintage van. And I'd always dreamed of having a Volkswagen van. Eventually, after years of dreaming, became a reality. And then that summer, obviously had the time of our lives in Montana, driving it across fields, through rivers, dance parties in the back. And then as we arrived back from Montana to LA, I bought a sick sound system, which I'm about to try out momentarily. And then for a few years, I wasn't spending much time in LA. We just left this van parked up for months and months, and I just had friends check on it, but we found somewhere where we weren't going to get a parking ticket. Essentially left abandoned. I think at times there was homeless people living out of this. I'd left it unlocked or whatever. It had an immobilizer, so they couldn't steal it. Well, they probably could have, but they were just sleeping in it, harmless. 3 years later, we moved to LA, and this at the time was parked up at the Yes Theory house. They were just looking after it because I had nowhere else to put it. Around 2018 into 2019, I was like, okay, I want to get it back on the road. And that's when I went down this wild rabbit hole of what would it take to get this running on batteries, on electricity. What an amazing few years it was. I think I started talking to EV West and Brett and Jehu in 2019. Eventually started the build and got this done late 2020. Absolutely loved cruising around LA. Had the whole podcast series. I think in 2021, interviewing a bunch of other YouTubers in LA on a podcast I called the Recharged podcast. For those of you that didn't know or you missed that, that was a really fun chapter. Having a fun kind of side-by-side conversation. It was a little bit like carpool karaoke, but we were getting deep. We were going to visit amazing social projects and getting to volunteer, help be part of that, learn about what people are doing, beautiful projects that are happening in LA, and then having deep, meaningful, vulnerable conversations with people as well. And I love doing that. That was really, really fun, like long form content, deep conversations. And the van was such a perfect place for that, really. Decided to leave LA. And that was kind of where I had a lot of big question marks around what to do with the van. Do I take it to Costa Rica? Do I try and ship it over to the UK? As we had decided to settle there, well, between Costa Rica and the UK, haven't got any plans to be in the US for any long periods of time. So that trip at the end of 2022, driving this to New York, was originally because I was believing I could ship the van from New York to the UK and have a whole new lease of life. I was going to kit out the whole back of it. Yeah, it was going to be a beautiful new chapter. Now, unfortunately, I had to pivot because I found out quite quickly that this would not legally be allowed in the UK because of the alterations and modifications I've made and how I did it. So I had to come up with a new plan. All I knew is I had to get it to Brett and Kira to fix, and then at some point I could figure out what was next. And this week has been that final deadline, really, of, okay, it's fixed now. I know I'm not going to be able to get it to the UK. It's incredibly ambitious to get it down to Costa Rica. And even if I could, is it valuable down there? I don't think I can import it. I think there's a lot of rules around importing vehicles. So yeah, it was time to face the sad reality that I need to let go of the Volkswagen, pass it on to a new home, pass it on to one of you, hopefully watching. So like I said, this isn't for most of you. I know it sounds expensive, but I'm looking for $50,000 to recoup the money that I put into this. I'm not even going to make a profit. For those of you that just want an electric car, want something modern and safe, you can get a great electric car for $50,000. But for those of you that have disposable income and dream of something like this, something where the character of the vintage Volkswagen bus is revived and breathing life back into something with this much nostalgia and character, and maybe you've really followed this journey of me building this out and the adventures we've had on it. This could be an amazing investment and project as well, because there's tons still to do. And I would advise whoever does want to get this, invest a bit more and get it kitted out with a solar. Talk to Brett and Kira about figuring out ways to install a solar roof or some kind of an array, and then you're literally driving and powering for free. As you saw today, being able to power up 50 miles range. Absolutely incredible. It's very fitting that the sun is setting right now, because this is a metaphor of the sun setting on this chapter, on the chapter of the Volkswagen. For those that follow the channel, you'll know I am converting very slowly a Volkswagen Beetle, a Bug, back in the UK. And I'm sure I'll have plenty of probably solo adventures in that. And then eventually, once we've invested a bit in our land in Costa Rica and got a house built, I could see us doing a beautiful solar powered RV that we can travel a lot with and have some amazing solar powered adventures in the future. Something that's safe, that Raya's really invested in and loves. I think there's plenty of adventures in our future, but I think this period where Neo's young, we'll probably be having a couple more little ones. I need to think of ways to have fun adventures for little pockets of time. I think most of our family adventures will be the adventure of setting up a home base down in Costa Rica and doing some kind of random travel. We've got the caravan now with the Tesla, savouring every last moment with the Volkswagen. I'm playing a reel in my head of all the beautiful moments I've had in this, and the laughter, the hanging out with friends, the traveling the country. I don't know if any of you have had to say goodbye to vehicles that you've been attached to, but this and the boom bus I had to scrap are probably the vehicles I've most felt attached to and felt connected with. I want to give a huge thank you to Brett and Kira for rescuing me getting this beautiful machine back on the road, inspiring me to dream bigger about solar projects and what's possible. Even today, my mind was blown that we could charge so much of the battery up from a few panels, way less than I thought we'd need. So my brain is spinning with amazing fun projects and getting to ride a lot of the cool solar powered vehicles that they have at their house today was so much fun. And I totally get why this has become an all-consuming passion for them, working on solar projects. And if any of you have a specific dream of some kind of solar powered vehicle that you want to get built or work on, definitely reach out to them. The best thing you could do is head over to their channel and subscribe and watch some of the videos. There's going to be some videos they're releasing talking in depth about all the repairs they had to do on this. They do breakdowns of all of the vehicles they're working on, from concept to the practical builds, and then a lot of the range testing they do, and the whole process they beautifully capture and upload on their YouTube channel. So yeah, go and check them out, give them some support. It'd be amazing if a lot of you could go and support their channel. It's their dream to be able to continue making these projects. It's not incredibly lucrative as an industry because it's so niche. So go and show them some love. I'll link them below. Thanks for watching this series, this final week that I've had with the Volkswagen. Thank you for journeying with me, supporting me, watching these videos I do on my YouTube channel. Comment below any exciting adventures you'd love me to capture, maybe some future projects you think I should jump into, especially solar powered electric vehicle adventures. If any of you, even if it's just one or two of you, are interested in taking this beautiful machine home and having your own adventures with it, starting a whole new chapter of its life, I'm going to include an email below specifically just to reach out about buying this. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. The next video is very exciting. I'm going to California and we're going to go and check out the E-Star that Brett and Kira built for Redfoo from LMFAO. An amazing vehicle. They drove across country and it's got a big solar array that folds out, an amazing RV. Again, super inspiring build. You can see a ton of the content about what they did with that on their channel. But yeah, I'm going to go for a little tour with Redfoo and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out, enjoy life and live the adventure. Boom.